Good evening and welcome to my end of the week recap video here for the S&P 500 SPY. One trade I took on Wednesday was 18 July 281 calls here. I was in at 21, out at 12. That was just for the day. Looked like it was going to continue higher. Thursday and Friday took no new trades in the S&P 500. Still holding these July 285s, August 295s, and next June 325 calls. A few other positions too, but those are the only ones that I have been mentioning on here. Going forward, here on the monthly time frame, just really quick, want to go over a few things. 279.50 was the high of June. We're closing actually coming very close to piercing that level. Most technical analysis book, educators, trainers, whatever you want to call them, gurus, they all know that supports and resistances are a very key factor in trading, but they don't go into detail about how to trade those. Now, this level was probably a resistance, probably still is. And even when you have a resistance, even if price action breaks above, there's that secondary opportunity to enter that position once it comes back below it. Then your risk is above where that previous high was. So there will be participants looking to short this 279.5 break versus this 270 or 281, excuse me. It's about $2 of risk, which is not too bad in a $280 name. So that is to be aware of, and I personally will be looking for pullbacks. Now that takes me into my trade plan, and I'm going to start zooming in here on the weekly time frame. Weekly has put in as indecisive of a candle as you can get. Right at these previous relative highs anyways, open and close was almost exactly the same point. Call it an evening star, doji cross, whatever you want to call it, just is an indecision candle. It represents a battle going on. Volume has really dried up here in July, which is kind of normal for the summer. So big moves are going to be few and far between. In my opinion, these earnings over the next week or two are probably going to be the catalyst to push us one way or the other outside of this range. But in between 281.20 and 278.5 is probably going to chop, while still keeping in mind that 279.5 level. So it may be treated as VWAP, buyers below, sellers above, that kind of thing, until we get a decision to be a trending stock or not. What I'm looking for here is initially this level here at the blue line, which is my 8 EMA. If price action opens up flat, chops around, and starts to climb above, I will trade in some 280 calls approximately 1 week in the future for a move back to at least this 281.15 area, a little bit above. Below there, if price action chops around here, breaks, I will look for a support here anywhere between these levels. May come down and touch this descending support line, may touch this previous trend line, which was resistance, should now be support as a retest. Below there, also have the 50 SMA. There's also this technical buy area of about 273 where this bottoming pattern did form. And again, below there is the 200 SMA. Now, that's a very long drop to come all the way down to 200 SMA. It may take a few days if it does start to roll over. And if that's the case, this 200 SMA will likely come up to meet price much higher than where it's at, which would in turn create yet another higher low for another push back up to where I want to see us in the 290s. As I zoom out here on the daily time frame, put my major pattern back up here that I am watching. This W is still playing out, still has not been voided. We've broken above, retested, put in a new high, came back in, put a new higher low, and now a new higher high in relation to the initial sell-off. So looks like bulls are trying to do their best to take charge and push it back up to all-time highs. But right now, it looks like we are definitely due for a pullback, which is perfectly fine with me. I will be patient. Those 285 calls I'm in may not amount to much. Still have plenty of long exposure. I will trade my levels and continue to manage my risk as such. So for now, that's my trade plan for Monday. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Have a good weekend and good luck.